Commissioner, yes, the next AI artwork, standpipe, animated will be in District 3, right? Before we continue, I would like to recognize former Commissioner Veronica Whitaker, who just joined us. Thank you, Commissioner, for being here. Well, the animated standpipe today is part of a family of painted standpipes in McAllen, and to tell us about this wonderful initiative that Keep McAllen Beautiful created and how it continues to beautify our beautiful city of McAllen, please help me welcome Keep McAllen Beautiful's own Chris Lash.
Morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. You know, I prayed for good weather and God listened. So I'm very thankful for that. I wanted to start off by saying thank you, Jimmy and Ferris. This is amazing. I like to tease Jimmy saying he doesn't even need a ladder when he paints our pipes. Jimmy is the artist for several pipes throughout our city. And when he came to me about painting this pipe, he came to me and he says, I have an idea. And I'm like, okay, let's hear your idea. And he's like, well, the pipe, it's actually gonna come to life. It's gonna spin, it's gonna go up in the air. And I'm like, what? What are you saying right now? And he's like, yes, I happen to know an artist who does animation. And I think we can make it happen. And so they did. And so it's wonderful, and I want to thank you both for bringing this to McAllen. I'd also like to thank our staff, Claudia and David, because they are really, you know, amazing. We right now are at pipe number 189 and counting. We have about 15 more that are in the works right now, and there's more to come. So, you know, to all of you, I say stay tuned, because this is an amazing time for McAllen. This is great that we're able to bring all this public art to our community. And I encourage everyone to invite your friends and family to come visit McAllen and check out all our pipes. Go on our website. Our website actually pinpoints the locations of where all these pipes are throughout McAllen. So I encourage you to check us out at keepmcallenbeautiful.org. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Chris, for your leadership in helping to keep McAllen beautiful. Let's hear from the artists. Jimmy Kieran is an artist and muralist from McAllen, and Jimmy has dabbled in art as a child, but abandoned it at an early age. Jimmy pursued a career as a designer and worked with some of the biggest brands in the world. He started painting again about 4 years ago and became a professional artist 2 years ago. Jimmy's work is colorful and vibrant and is inspired by the world around him. He uses color to express feelings and emotion. His art has been featured in art galleries across South Texas, and his murals can be enjoyed by residents across the Rio Grande Valley. And he is also the featured artist on several irrigation pipes around McAllen. Ferris Ryan is a Brownsville, Texas-based artist and brand designer known for blending traditional art forms with cutting-edge technology, hence our animated standpipe. His creations spark a dialogue between the natural world and human ingenuity, celebrating the seamless integration of art and technology. The artist incorporated augmented reality into this public artwork. By scanning the QR code located on the standpipe with your cell phone, the public will see the pipe and the elements on it become animated thanks to AR. So please, Jimmy and Ferris, come on up and tell us all about your artwork and your inspiration.
Thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. My name's Jimmy Kern, obviously. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I know y'all had things to do this morning, but more importantly, I want to thank Chris and the team for allowing me to just kind of experiment and play around here in the city. I did my first pipe about a year ago up the street, and I'm on my 10th one now. So I'm really grateful for that, and for the city for to happen. I spent the past year
And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's City Commission meeting. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation by Commissioner Victor Sebi Haddad. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You bow your heads. Heavenly Father, I pray that you guide us as we meet and discuss matters with regard to our city. I pray we shall choose to do that which is moral and rational. I pray that all motivation and everything this council wants to do is for the good of the public. Help us to be competent and reach towards excellence in our governance. As always, we thank you for our blessings. Amen.
Amen. First, we have a presentation, recognition of the Office of Communications.
Good evening. My name is Xochitl Mora. I'm the Director of Communications. Here's our team. We were recently at our annual conference for the Texas Association of Municipal Information Officers, where the City of McAllen had a great presence with many of the initiatives and activities that took place that weekend. Most importantly, we came home with 5 awards for the work that we do to promote the City of McAllen, including 3 award of honors and 2 award of excellences. This is for social media posts. Thank you. For photography, for communication plan, for a recurring video, and for our one-time special video. So we're really pleased with the awards that we received. We're really proud to do the work that we do for the City of McAllen to continue to promote the city to our community, to our residents, to the media, and being able to do that with all of these different communication tools and to be recognized amongst all of our peers across the state is really something. There were almost 700 entries that we were competing against with cities from across the state, and oftentimes we're in the category along with Arlington and Dallas and San Antonio, so with the bigger cities, and we still are very competitive with them. And it just goes to show that the work that we're doing that highlights the work that you, our colleagues, do is recognized, so thank you.
Congratulations, well done. Next, we have a proclamation, age-friendly RGV initiative, and I think I have that. And it's always a pleasure to have you all here. I think y'all know in McAllen we try to come over here, include everybody regardless of age. McAllen is one of the best places to, in case y'all haven't read, one of the best places to live in the United States. I think we were number 48 in the whole country. Which means we beat out 39,958 other cities. Just in case y'all didn't know. But anyway, we accept everybody. It doesn't matter to us. And we talk about this a lot of the times, at least I do, that it doesn't matter to us about race, religion, color of your skin, or anything. And definitely, it doesn't matter how old you are. So it gives me a great honor to read this proclamation today. Whereas the Age-Friendly City Initiative is an all-inclusive and engaging movement of cities and communities focused on building and shaping a physical and social environment that fosters friendliness, livability, while creating opportunities for active aging and enriching lives. Rio Grande Valley communities are still young, but the older adult population increases during the winter months and aligns with global projections, which anticipate the population aged 60 and above will reach nearly 2 billion by 2050. The Age-Friendly Rio Grande Valley Initiative, led by Dr. Suder Chan, professor at UTRGV School of Social Work, and his team, with a seed grant and in collaboration with LRGV, Area Agency on Aging, consistent with World Health Organizations and AARP's Age-Friendly City Framework, encourages cities and counties to promote age-friendly communities throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Active aging is a lifelong process whereby an age-friendly community is not just elder-friendly, but also intended to be friendly for all ages while fostering environments that honor, support, and integrate older adults into all aspects of social life through all-inclusive infrastructure, policies, workplaces, healthcare, and social services. The Age-Friendly City Community Framework endeavors to recognize the needs of the individuals across all age groups, irrespective of their capabilities and capacities. These communities promote active aging by maximizing opportunities for health, activity, and security within their living environment. The City Commission of McAllen is dedicated to promoting the needs and interests of all residents served, and as an age-friendly community, take the lead in promoting opportunity for all ages. Now therefore, I, Javier Villalobos, Mayor of the City of McAllen, by virtue of the authority vested in me, and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as Age-Friendly RGV Initiative Month.
First of all, I would like to thank the City Commission for recognizing the initiative, Age-Friendly RGV Initiative, an initiative which has been shaped with the seed grant from UTRGV School of Social Work. Across the country and globally, a lot of age-friendly cities, communities are being promoted, and there are some states within the United States already proclaimed as age-friendly states. So this is in the valley, except Brownsville a few years ago declared as age-friendly city, and other cities have not come forward to make themselves as age-friendly city. So after this initiative, now McAllen is one of the cities that have proclaimed as age-friendly city. What this involves is a commitment from the city in considering various policies and programs and infrastructure development. They think of the elderly people in the community and how those policies, those infrastructural activities, or any kind of development activities, services that they are planning for the city residents, and how they can impact the older people, and what they can do differently to make the city friendly for them. So it is a supportive, enabling, and friendly environment so that the elderly people, just like anybody else, can live, though their capacities would be varying with the age. So they could maybe limiting in certain ways, but still they feel like living in the city and pursuing whatever the likes they have or interests they have. And that's what it means, and then we are very glad that the city has come forward to proclaim, and we would be very glad to work with the city in supporting this initiative. And if city can think about having a committee on aging, and I heard that you already have a committee, and we would like to work with your committee to promote age friendliness in the city of McAllen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next proclamation is National Safety Month, being delivered by Commissioner Cabeza de Vaca.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. City of McAllen, State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas the National Safety Council has designated the month of June as National Safety Month. This annual designation focuses on reducing leading causes of injury and deaths at work and on the road. The City of McAllen will join thousands of organizations across the nation to raise awareness and empower every employee to improve safety in their workplace. And whereas the City of McAllen values the safety of all city employees and is committed to promoting a positive safety culture that is embraced by all employees. A successful citywide safety program depends on the spotting hazard early, evaluating the risk, and removing or controlling them before harm is done. And whereas National Safety Month spotlights safety awareness that includes promoting emergency preparedness and the importance of providing knowledgeable information and resources to communities across the nation for any type of emergency. Since the month of June is also the official start of hurricane season, this serves as a reminder to our community to prepare and plan. And whereas activities will take place across the nation to celebrate National Safety Month in the workplace and in communities to encourage and promote safety awareness. Locally, the City of McAllen Risk Management Department will host the 8th Annual Risk and Safety Expo on June 12th and June 13th at the McAllen Convention Center. Now thereof, I, Pepe Cabeza de Vaca, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested in me, and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim the month of June as National Safety Month. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Yoli Perez. I'm the Director for Risk Management. We wanted to take this time to thank all of our city's safety officers, our department heads, our executive management team for all of their support in helping us to keep our employees safe. Thank you for always promoting a positive safety culture here at the City of McAllen. Thank each one of you.
Next up, we have Waste and Recycling Workers Week, being delivered by Commissioner Aguirre. Actually, by Commissioner Zamora.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Welcome. Before I read this proclamation, I just want to give a word of thanks on a warm, hot day like today. Let's all thank Willis Carrier, the inventor of the modern air conditioning system, okay? Good afternoon, everybody. It is my privilege and pleasure to read the following proclamation. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas the nation celebrates the week of June 17th as Waste and Recycling Workers Week, and whereas according to the Center for Disease Control, the eradication of many diseases in the Western world is due in large part to higher public sanitation standards resulting from effective garbage disposal, and whereas the men and women employed by the city private refuse collection and hauling industry in the community make significant contributions to the safety, health, and welfare of citizens, and whereas the proper collection and disposal of waste and recyclables is vital to preventing disease, litter, and dump heaps, and whereas refuse haulers contribute to a tidy and clean community, and whereas the City of McAllen values and celebrates hundreds of trash collectors, dumpster haulers, sewage workers, street cleaners, and all employed in the sanitation industry to serve residents and local businesses. And whereas the city and county will have programs to formally and publicly thank these employees for their hard work and dedication serving our community. Now, therefore, I, Joaquin Samora, City Commissioner for the City of McAllen, Texas, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, on behalf of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners for the city, do hereby proclaim the week of June 17th as Waste and Recycling Workers Week. Congratulations. Before I hand the mic over to Mrs. Alonso, I just want to say, you know, there's a lot of things that we take for granted when we wake up in the morning and we turn on our faucets and we have running water and our boilers are working with hot water and electricity is provided in our home. Our potholes are filled, our refuse bins and our recycling bins are serviced. You know, we sometimes take those for granted, and we thank all our city employees, and especially those here in sanitation, to make sure that the job is done, that the bins are serviced, our streets are clean. So another round of applause to them.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners. Thank you for this proclamation and recognition. The City of McAllen is only one of a handful of cities within the state of Texas, actually, that does not only municipal solid waste collection, but we also do the recycling pickup, and we also process recyclables. We process them and sell them to different markets and our recycling partners. It's one of the few things that sets us apart here in McAllen from other communities. These solid waste and recycling employees are truly unsung heroes in our industry. They go unnoticed a lot of times, and we like to recognize them, because without them we wouldn't have vibrant communities, clean communities, and sustainable efforts in our communities. So during the week of June 17th, we will recognize these individuals for their hard efforts, and we also invite you all to please recognize them as they're servicing your homes, your businesses. Give them a honk, just one honk. Just give them a wave, give them a thumbs up. Let them know that you truly appreciate their efforts and what they're doing for the community. Thank you very much.
We're now on to A1. Yeah. We already did all of them. Yep. Public hearing.
And agenda item number 1, public hearings.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Tonight, we have 6 items listed under routine. As always, they come with a favorable recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission and had no opposition. They can be approved in one motion or discussed separately as desired. They are a rezoning from C2 to C3 at 3900 Buddy Owens Boulevard, that's tract 1. A rezoning from R1 to C3L at 4300 Pecan. A conditional use permit for life of the use for a parking facility at 813 Kennedy Avenue. A conditional use permit for life of the use for a guest house at 1701 Wisteria Avenue. A conditional use permit for 1 year for a bar and grill, the Duchess, at 2200 Nolana Avenue, suites 2210 and 2212. And a conditional use permit for a life of the use for a daycare at 2748 Melba Avenue.
Do we have anybody to speak against any of these items? Anybody against any of these items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Next item is a rezoning from C1 to C3 at 3201 Trenton Road. This property is located on the south side of Trenton, approximately 295 feet west of Zenaida Avenue. Adjacent zoning is AO to the west, east, and north, R1 to the south. Surrounding uses include MISD schools, single-family homes, and commercial properties further on Trenton. The applicant is requesting C3 for a pickleball and paddle park. Proposed site plan is attached. Staff did receive 1 phone call at the time and 11 emails in opposition of the request, citing noise. The item was presented at the May 21st Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, where 4 residents spoke in opposition, citing noise, lighting, and possible alcohol consumption. Staff presented their recommendation, which was denial of C3 in favor of a C3L. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended C3L approval unanimously, and there are some people here in opposition. We did receive a petition over the weekend. We were able to calculate it. They have met the threshold, so a supermajority of the entire commission is required for approval.
Okay. Let's see, anybody here to speak against the item?
Come forward, please.
Yes, please go ahead, and your name and...
For the public's benefit, though, there's a 3-minute speaking time limit.
My name is Mike Dennis, resident of Antigua Subdivision, longtime citizen of McAllen, Texas, and I thank you for your time. I enjoy the solitude and quiet of my retirement home and yard in Antigua Subdivision that I built in 2007. It is perfectly located close to my church, where I'm an elder, and close to the stores and restaurants just minutes away. We have a great neighborhood, and everyone knows everyone and chips in when necessary. We all feel extremely comfortable when buying and building our homes in Antigua because the original developer had made sure we would not have any disturbance from the commercial lot to the north of our subdivision because it had been zoned C1. This was one critical factor in choosing Antigua for our home. We all wanted to have a peace and quiet of a small gated subdivision with low traffic flow. Even though there was an undeveloped lot to the north, we felt we were protected with the C1 zoning. Office buildings, housing, and professional services built adjacent to the residents' homes are not a problem. Office employees and clients usually come to work between 8 and 9, as well as the people leaving the subdivision. They come back from work, they leave for home at 4 to 5, just like we do. Professional services are usually closed on the weekends. This leaves us to enjoy evenings, nights, and weekends in our homes and our yards without much interference or noise to the professional services sharing our fence line. Residents do not have to deal with the high traffic of a C3L zoning could create, the potential for noisy business. That proposed zoning could create a traffic nightmare being so close to the entrance to Folsom School that is already challenging in the morning and the afternoon drop-off and pickup times. The proposed zoning would allow a liquor store or a pickleball court that would be selling alcohol right next to the school. We are unanimously opposed to the developer building a pickleball court, and the city attorney that we called verified that a pickleball facility would qualify as a C3L business. But if proposed zoning is approved and the pickleball business is not successful, what is the next noisy business you're going to put there? Any, like an emergency clinic or with ambulances and sirens, or even a liquor store? Any of those high-traffic businesses operating long hours and after 5 p.m. and weekends are going to impact the peace and serenity of our subdivision, our lives, our health, and most importantly, our children. Improper zoning near any resident area could cause drop in property values as well as resale values. We respectfully ask that you do not rezone this lot. You would be maintaining the value of our property and the health and comfort of the sanctity of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else that has anything different? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Joe Cabrera. I'm a resident at 3009 Zenaida Avenue, which is the Antigua subdivision. First of all, let me begin by saying thank you for the opportunity to be able to share with you our concerns for rezoning the area from C1 to CL3. Most of us, my friends, know that I'm a disabled veteran. My family and I purchased a house at Antigua subdivision because of the peace and quiet. I would say our district would serve the community and the city of McAllen better as a C1 district offering office buildings and spaces rather than a C2 and C3. I would ask you, what is nuisance? Well, under Texas law, a nuisance is a condition that substantially interferes with the use and enjoyment of land by causing unreasonable discomfort and annoyance to persons of ordinary sensibilities attempting to use and enjoy it. In other words, nuisance is something that would annoy a reasonable person. So basically, nuisance is when a neighbor does something that keeps you from enjoying your home in peace. A study was conducted and prepared for the city, Centennial, Colorado, in July of 2023 by Dr. Lance Willis, which is an acoustic and noise control specialist. He stated physiological effects of sound. While it would be known that high amplitude acoustical pressures can cause hearing impairment, as well as other types of bodily injuries, lower amplification sound can also adverse long-term physiological effects. The World Health Organization recognizes that low-level noise exposure has measurable health effects. The effects of stress can take many forms. Low-level exposure that disturbs sleep concentration is known to produce a range of illnesses and disorders. The City of McAllen, Chapter 41, Environmental Article 5 indicates the protection and preservation of the home is of the highest importance, and the unnecessary and excessive noise is a significant source of environmental pollution that threatens the public health, welfare, tranquility, and good order of the community. And the prohibitions and other protections set forth in those articles are enacted to ensure, secure, and promote public peace, welfare, comfort, and health. In closing, Antigua Subdivision is a great place to live, and I ask you to help us preserve it as a C1 building office district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, I'm the final presenter.
Your
I'll
time is
try
up.
to make it to 3 seconds. 3 minutes. This is a pickleball paddle. This is not a tennis paddle. This is a pickleball paddle. This is a pickleball. Notice, it does not have any fuzz on it. Y'all want to see them? Pass them on. Sorry. Then I'll start my presentation.
All right.
Nobody I talked to on the phone understood what a pickleball paddle and ball were. Now you know.
Seen them?
My name is Katrina Dennis. Thank you for your time. I'll try to be brief. After attending the Planning and Zoning meeting on May 21st, everybody in the subdivision received a certified letter from the developer on the lot at Trenton Road. My husband and I decided to visit the developers and request a site map of the proposed facility. They were very cordial and gave us the site map and illustrations of the paddleball facility with what appeared to be 6 enclosed plexiglass courts under an open-air pavilion. It also illustrated 6 to 8 open pickleball courts of yet undetermined location, 2 racks of viewing stadiums with seats and spectators, and an open-air restaurant. This is enclosure 2 to my presentation that is in that white envelope, okay? By changing from C1 to C3 zoning, the City of McAllen is opening a Pandora's box of noise to assault our tranquil subdivision. Bear with me, I'm not a tech person. The noise that you just heard was the sound of one outside pickleball court with 4 players playing a half rally, not an entire game. An entire game lasts from 15 to 25 minutes. You can multiply that by 14 if all courts are in use at one time, along with crowd noise from supporters and viewers. I ask you, Mr. Commissioner and Mr. Mayor, is that a sound you want to hear from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week when you're in your home, relaxing, or in your yard? The developers...
Go ahead.
You finish.
Go ahead.
The developer's only offer of any constructive sound mitigation is to increase the height of our existing concrete block wall from 6 to 8 feet. I have spent the last 2 weeks reading and studying reports from experts on pickleball noise impact assessment and abatement planning. Contrary to the developer's belief, an 8-foot concrete wall or a parking lot is not considered an acoustical barrier, nor is plexiglass an acoustical barrier, especially with openings to the roof in the pavilion and no sides. Any home within a line of sight will be heavily impacted. All homes within 500 feet will be impacted. This includes my home. It is in the line of sight. I am attaching a map to show you all the communities and subdivisions that will be affected by this rezoning development. 500-foot minimum recommended distance for pickleball courts operating near residents is in Exhibit A, and an 1,000-foot minimum is the minimum distance from residents for courts with no noise abatement. That is Exhibit A, and there are definitely sources there. Enclosure 1 shows the homes that are within 500 feet, and a quarter of a mile is close to 1,000 feet of many divisions. Is assaulting homeowners that live within 500 foot to 1,000 foot range with impulsive noise. If you want to bounce that thing, you'll hear an impulsive noise. A good way to develop your McAllen community. We are strongly opposed to rezoning from C1 to C3L and very strongly opposed to the paddleball pickleball facility or any of many noisy high-traffic businesses that would replace it in the future if it is rezoned. Please maintain the C1 zoning of this property to protect your citizens' homes, their property values, and their tranquility and peace. Thank you for the time. I know I went a little over. I apologize.
No, thank you so much. And the reason we allow you to go over the time, because I suspect that everybody has the same issues. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, and instead of having everybody come tell us the same thing, I think it's probably easier we do this. So the ones that are opposed, could you all please stand up? Okay. Is there anybody else that want to say anything different? Okay. Go ahead.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Lena Mendez. I'll keep this very short. My address is 3200 Zenaida Avenue. Gentlemen, my home is right on that gate line where the pickleball court is. It's a 2-story home. My window, you can hear it. I have multiple sclerosis. That's why I have the mask on and I look like a nurse or something in here. I'm so sorry. My mother lives with me. She's disabled. Just a few days ago, she had an episode where she fell and had to call the ambulance. Noises startled her. She fell because she got startled because I had a delivery person come to bring food from Grubhub, and it startled her when the dogs barked and the doorbell rang. So noises startled her. She has heart trouble. Her name is Donna Adams. She lives at my home, 3200 Zenaida. She's not here today because she's disabled. But gentlemen, the noise is too much, the pitch, the frequency. I'm asking you, please, for the sake of our subdivision, for the sake of our neighbors, the children, the elderly, the disabled, please consider keeping it C1 because it is affecting our mental health, gentlemen. It's affecting our neighborhood. I'm asking, please, for all of us, consider keeping it C1. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Okay, do we have the applicant? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Rene Peña, and this is Juan Garza. We know that the noise is something that it's of concern to the subdivision in the back. So we did our homework. We got a decibel meter, and we went several times to the paddle court that it's on Pecan and 23rd Street. We stood at 150 feet away when there was a tournament going on. 6 courts were playing, completely full, and we couldn't hear. I mean, the decibel meter, we have the video. It marks between 60 and 70 decibels. I mean, with the glass, you cannot. I mean, you hear more the traffic than. I mean, there's no sound of the balls bouncing. Also, we know that a friend of ours that works on Texas Dot said that when they were expanding highway or a street, they built a 6-foot concrete wall when the cars and trucks were passing 10 feet away from the homes, and they didn't have any issues. I know it's a big concern, but we're willing to do everything that we can to have a peaceful matter of having this project in the proposed lot.
Also, in regards to the conceptual, it's just a conceptual project when we are, again, using the parking lot as a buffer so we can distance for the neighbors. We are keeping the majority of the trees so we can have that as a soundproofing also. And just in the comparison between the pickleball and the paddle, 80% of the project is going to be focused to paddle, not pickleball. The reason that we include pickleball is because we need to target also the discipline that the U.S. is pushing to compete with the paddle. It's similar sports, recreational sports, but the paddle is contained by a gas template wall that also held to soundproof, and it's a different type of ball. That's in regard to the conceptual project. We are in the best interest to have an open dialogue. That's only a conceptual. It's not a bar. It's not a restaurant. It's only a project that is focused to community, to sports, and we are trying to build a healthy lifestyle. And we want to be seen as an amenity, not as a bad thing for the neighbor. We know that the discipline is growing in the market. There is other project that is creating new facilities in other cities. In this case, but we are choosing McAllen, and again, we are not trying to be away from the neighbors. They are part of the community that we are trying to build. So any inquiry, we are open to hear it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, and this is where it gets kind of difficult for us to, we have to balance the interest of the landowners with the interest of the other landowners. Every person's home is their castle, and they want their peace, they want to live comfortably, and of course, people have their property they have to develop, and so we have to make the hard decisions sometimes. Counselor, do we know about noise or how it would get affected?
So we have looked at some noise studies. They all have different decibel ranges and different impacts, but one thing that they do all share is that there are mitigation efforts that can be done, right? Whether it's distance, whether it's buffers, whether it's the orientation of the courts. And so I'll say that, and then if you'll indulge me a few more seconds. So we've looked at the noise impacts of a pickleball court. What I will say, though, is when we looked at this rezoning, we looked at it as a C1 to C3L, right? Today, what's up for vote is not specifically a pickleball court, right? It is just the C3L. We feel comfortable with any use in a C3L. That's why we're recommending approval. Again, it is not a site plan approval today. There will have to go through a site plan. They will have to go through subdivision. And so I think we can catch any issues that might happen at that point in time.
Do you all understand that?
No.
Can you explain it?
Yes, so today, the applicant has been very upfront about wanting a pickleball court, but the zone allows for different uses, right? And so that's what we base, and Planning and Zoning Commission bases their recommendation off of that, all the different types of uses that can happen. Even if this rezoning is either approved or denied, to develop the property, there needs to be a subdivision and a site plan because it's off Trenton Road. And so those are two mechanisms where staff, planning and zoning, can introduce buffers, can introduce any other issues, or not issues, right, but solutions to issues that may come up. So there are still two catches, I guess, before you see any actual development to that property.
And as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, we had something similar where we had a bunch of individuals wanting us to deny something. Yet if we denied it, it would have been worse because they didn't quite understand. At the very end, when we passed it, it was much better for them. But this situation, I'm not saying that, but it kind of gets you to the same position because right now we're addressing, can it be rezoned? I know we're talking pickleball. This meeting today has nothing to do with pickleball. It's just a rezoning. And I guess I would assume that's the reason P&Z approved it because it qualifies, meets all requirements for, what is it,
C3L, sir.
C3L. And what are the uses for C3L?
C3O would allow, obviously, offices. So you basically have community zoning offices. It would allow a bakery. It would allow restaurants that have less than 25% sales of alcohol. It would allow a doctor's office. It would allow maybe a barber shop. Liquor stores, I know there was mention, you need a conditional use permit for that. So is it allowed? Yes, but there's still an extra step, and there are public hearings for those. But that's the difference between the C3O and the C3. Once you get a C3, you can do hotels, you can do hospitals, you can do bars. So that's why they want to keep it at C3L.
Getting under a C3L, you could have a mechanic shop with air compressors.
With a conditional use permit, you would be able to, yes, sir.
See, those are all things that are,
Chances are you wouldn't get approved.
Well, generally talking about extended use that extends beyond normal office hours at the C3L. The type of businesses he's talking about are open Saturdays, they're open Sundays, they're open late at night.
And we don't know because we're addressing rezoning right now.
Mayor, if I can have a moment to address the issue.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm looking at section 138-267 about C3L. One of the premises or purpose of that zoning is to allow commercial uses within areas of transition from residential to commercial that would provide additional business opportunities. I would argue that that particular area, because I'm very familiar with it, off North 29th and Trenton Road, is not in transition. If anything, it's one that's still, at least on the south side of Trenton Road, is still largely, strongly residential R1. Our comprehensive plan, and you can clarify this with me, Mr. Garcia, we look at commercial nodes. So we look at 23rd and Trenton, we look at Ware and Trenton, obviously we look at 10th and Trenton, where we try to put the commercial nodes here. Now, I'm not going to deny 29th Street does intersect with Trenton Road. However, it's a minor arterial. It's not designed to handle the kind of traffic that you expect on Ware Road and sort of expect on 23rd and 10th. So I would dispute, respectfully, that this area would in fact be in transition. Now, at some prior board, not this board, someone thought that, hey, there is a subdivision here, C1 would seem most appropriate, right? And that would obviously help preserve the character and the nature of the neighborhood to the residents of the South. Right, I think many residents who bought their homes early in 2005, 2007 may have been relying on that, right? Things change, things happen. But in my estimation in reviewing the commercial comprehensive plan, there are C2 zonings, but it's right at 29th and Trenton. There's a C3L on the northwest corner, right? And that would be more appropriate because it's an intersection. We have I have a concern when we're looking at pieces of parcels, of tracts, where you're starting to put C3 zoning mid-block. And I think you know what I'm getting at, Mr. Garcia, is that if you start looking at areas between, let's say, 29th and Ware, or 29th and 23rd, and maybe it's on a certain side of the street, there's Kings Loop, it's on the north side. You have the street, Trenton Road is a buffer. That would seem more appropriate, right? But it's if the commercial C3 or C3L is on the north side. In this particular case, you're dealing with something a little bit 2+ acres. It's on the south side. It's immediately abutting a neighborhood, a well-established neighborhood. And our city is about neighborhoods. Certainly the high quality of life and the expectation we expect tranquility a certain piece of serenity in our homes and in our neighborhoods, and so that explains why they're here today. Of course, I'm advocating, I believe in strong neighborhoods and preserving the character of those neighborhoods. And of course, we're very happy and pleased to have people from in the public investing in our city, bringing extracurricular and exercise opportunities and activities, and we certainly don't discourage that. And I hope you understand, Mr. Pena, that's not what we're here for. But just like in the real estate market, it's location, location, location. If we're truly trying to be good neighbors with everyone, we have a responsibility that the needs and goals of a business, coincide and congruent with the protection, safety, and preservation and the character of the neighborhood. So certainly that's why they're here. Certainly you're here, Mr. Pena, for those reasons. I'm of the opinion that even the C3L does not meet those goals, because I certainly do not believe that this area is in transition. And so with that, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to deny the application to rezone to C3, I guess, / C3L.
I guess we finished. Anybody else who are done? Okay.
You have a motion.
I
second it.
What's that?
I'll second it.
Okay, there being a first and a second.
Not the location.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Just for clarification, the application is denied for rezone.
Okay.
Correct.
Next item.
Next-
Y'all are confused, aren't you?
Just thank God. Thank you, Lord.
Okay.
Next item is a rezoning from C2 to C4 at 3900 Buddy Owens, Track 2. This property is located off the northeast corner of North 41st and Buddy Owens. The adjacent zoning is R1 to the north and west, C2 to the east, and C3, and C4 to the south. Surrounding uses include single-family homes, commercial properties, and vacant land. The applicant is requesting C4 for a proposed storage development. The trend in the area is a mix of single-family homes and commercial businesses. The item was presented at the May 21st P&Z, where staff recommended denial of the C4, but approval of the C3. It was unanimously approved. The C3 does work for what the developer wants to do. In fact, for the routine items, A1, we just approved a companion zoning to this property, and so we are recommending approval of the C3.
And Mr. Mayor, Board of Commissioners, just going off the last item, this is a very good example of a commercial node. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Chair, second.
Is there any opposition or?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, this is. Do we have anybody to speak against the item? If not, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Next item is the conditional use permit for a parking facility for life of the use at 2216 El Rancho Avenue. This property is located on the north side of El Rancho Avenue, just east of South 23rd. It is zoned R1. Adjacent zoning is R1 to the north, east, and south, C3 to the west. Surrounding uses include single-family homes, car lots, and mechanic shops. The applicant is proposing to operate a parking facility for an adjacent car lot. The subject property was previously disapproved for a C3 rezoning, and the City Commission recommended the owner to apply for a CUP. That CUP wasn't applied for until April of this year. The item was presented at the May 21st Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. Staff recommended disapproval for the life of the use in favor of 2 years. P&Z concurred, and so they are recommending approval for only 2 years. The applicant is here.
Okay, anybody to speak against the item? Is there anybody to speak against the item? No?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Motion to
For
approve
2
2
years?
years?
Well, the applicant would like to still ask
Okay,
for life
yes.
of the use.
Commissioners, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I would just wanted to see, if it's possible to do it lifetime, since my dad is already kind of like a little bit old. And we were trying to see, I know we have some things in the past, and if we can fix that, we can fix them by paying the debt or the fines, and but we wanted to see if we can do a lifetime, you know, instead of going every other 2 years, come and reapply, you know. That's all.
Commission?
Well, there was a motion, right? So this is a residential lot with a CUP, right, on a residential lot?
That's the one in front of those tractors?
Yeah, that's the same one.
You want to try 2 years? Let's try 2 years, and then after 2 years, we can check the option life of use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how it works, and 2 years, we'll see, maybe we'll consider the life of use.
There being a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. I need a motion to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of McAllen.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Consent agenda, we have items A through I. Do we need to pull anything?
Mr. Mayor, on item 2G, if I could just have a real quick summary, you may have missed that workshop.
Let's just take items all but 2G. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 2G. Oh, I guess I missed that one too.
Okay.
This item is for an interlocal agreement with Hidalgo County, in particularly Precinct 3. We've outlined that we would cooperate with them. We would structure the payments over about 4 years up to 2028. The first payment is in the approximate range of $790,000. And then we have subsequent payouts for different things in engineering, right-of-way, and construction administration, and the construction.
What's our total participation?
About $3,393,395.
And percentage-wise, 'cause is this the one that, I guess
40%.
precinct 3, maybe 4 is participating a little bit? Right away has been hopefully donated.
We are looking for some right-of-way to be donated, but at the end of the day, we work that we would pay 40% or what we front, the city actually fronts. The initial request was at 50%, but we only thought it was fair for the city to pay what we front and what we would, pertains to us.
And if I'm correct, is the county responsible for design and right-of-way acquisition?
They'll be the lead agency on
Lead
that.
agency for the
Yes,
project?
sir.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item number 3.
3A is a work contract for Apex Control Console installation work at the McAllen Performing Arts Center.
Good evening. This item is for lighting control for our Performing Arts Center. The current unit that we have is 8 years old, and we have it budgeted. We had budgeted $90,000. The TIPS contract for, but the item came in at $84,982. Staff recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Thank
B is a work contract for the purchase of one crack sealing machine at McAllen Airport.
Mayor, Commission, good afternoon. Based on review by this office and the purchasing and contracting department, staff recommends award of contract to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Craftco Incorporated, and total amount of $68,552.40 with wind budget at $75,000.
Any questions, comments?
Where would the machine be used, Chairman? Is this on the?
Out in the airfield.
On the airfield.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Do you hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item C.
Thank you.
C is consideration and approval of an MOU between the City of McAllen and McAllen Independent School District for McFund Zone Summer Program.
Mayor, City Commissioner, the item before you is for consideration and approval of an MOU between the City of McAllen and McAllen Independent School District for the after-school and McFund Zone Summer Program.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item D.
D is a work contract for the purchase of furniture for the new Anza Lewis cargo facility.
Was that we need? Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
First.
Okay, I heard 1, 2, 3. All in favor? Aye. All against? Motion carries. Item E.
E is a work contract for professional services for design of the McAllen New City Hall.
Mayor and Commission, the goal is to consider and approve a professional service contract with Millnet Architectural Services for the design of the new McAllen City Hall building. Staff has negotiated a comprehensive scope of services, including schematic design, design development, construction document preparation, and construction administration, general construction administration, for a total fee of $3,328,000. The fee counts for 8% of the estimated construction cost of $41,600,000, with an additional $10,000 allowance for reimbursable expenses. The contract was divided into 2 work authorizations. Staff recommends award a contract to work authorization number 1 to Milnet Architectural Services of McAllen, Texas, in the amount of $2,010,000. And with the city manager's approval, recommends award a work authorization 2 in the amount of $1,328,000 upon availability of funds programmed through subsequent fiscal years. And we open it up for any questions.
What is the estimated total cost of the project?
$41,600,000.
Size?
What size?
40 million.
It was about 96,000 square feet. 96,000 square feet.
So we're running at how much per square foot?
We had done a $400,000 square feet.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes. Mr. Mendoza, with regards or comparison to one concept, which was in addition to the north side of the current city hall, what was the approximate estimate to do the 5-story structure with parking on the ground?
At the end of the day, when we did renovations to this existing building, it would have come to about $30 million.
Okay.
Roughly.
And we have to acknowledge, probably about 24 months longer.
Yes, it would have taken longer because we would have been only moving certain departments at a time. We would have built the new building behind us, moved certain departments, been going back and forth. There would have been a lot more coordination.
A lot more disruption.
Involved in that.
I think this is obviously something that I wanted to bring up and discuss because, our taxpayers ultimately are going to be footing the bill on this project. And I think it does make sense in terms of dollar per dollar that it actually is going to take longer and probably cost a little more to do a renovation in addition to the current city hall than to break ground on vacant property, right? And raise it from that point. And just so I'm clear, this would be constructed on an area just south of City Hall?
We're looking just south in the parking lot. The exact orientation and everything, we'll still need to work that out with Commissioner.
Under the sign.
We'll make a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item F.
F is consideration and approval of change order number 5 for San Luis Bridge infrastructure.
Mayor and Commission, change order number 5 is for the Ansel Duas Bridge Infrastructure Improvement Project. Primarily focuses on additional furniture. This includes furniture scheduled with modifications from owner furnished to contractor furnished, with the majority of the funds allocated for the inbound furniture modification amounting to $770,955. The outbound furniture modification amount is $87,254. While other adjustments such as drainage installations, structural enhancements, and civil revisions are included, this portion of the change order is an overall deduct. RRP Consulting and staff recommend approval of change order number 5 in the amount of $759,998.49, with no additional working days, for a revised contract amount of $83,770,569.21, and an unchanged contract time of 400 days. The proposed furniture expenditure falls within the budget of furniture. Just to note, there will be another furniture package coming in the following fiscal year, but that is a payment to GSA. Just that way, when we bring it, we wanted to make you aware. As part of the donation acceptance agreement, we're required to make a payment to GSA for their computer infrastructure. So just so you don't confuse the two when we bring that later in the year, next fiscal year.
This is a net deduct. How'd that work out again?
So we had some civil items where the NII equipment, the feds took that scope out. They'll be taking it on. So we have a deduct out of the project.
Okay.
And so that deduct is greater than the furniture package.
You said the feds are gonna take it on, they're gonna cover the cost of that equipment?
When they come in and put the equipment, they'll be doing that concrete work. That was a big portion of where we received a deduct. There were other areas where the engineers.
Some money in, some money out, ended up being a net deduct.
A net deduct.
But this wasn't part of the original? Was that why it's being added?
The furniture, we pulled that out at the beginning of bid, when we rebid the second time.
Always knowing it would come in as a change order?
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, because we didn't feel that it was necessary to borrow at that time and make it part of the bid and have a 30-year mortgage payment on furniture.
With
So-
a lesser life.
Right,
All right.
right.
Makes
So
sense.
we took it out, so one, so we could come in a little closer to budget, but two, we just didn't feel we needed the furniture at the time.
That makes sense.
Do you hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next item. Item number 4.
4A is approval of resolution and advance funding agreement with TxDOT for Ware Road.
This resolution is for the project to construct a 30-foot wide underground pedestrian crossing at Ware Road and Houston Avenue, connecting various important locations such as the Convention Center, Westside Park, and the Nature Center. The estimated construction cost is $2,797,139, with funding coming from the RGB MPO and the City of McAllen. Approval from the resolution will enable the city to receive federal and state funds through the MPO and TxDOT for the construction of the pedestrian crossing. Staff recommends approving the resolution for the advanced funding agreement with TxDOT facilitating the construction of FM 22 underground trail passing, and we open it up for any questions.
Questions?
On this project, was there any concern with regards to the sewer lines or utilities at that particular location, which is about half a block north of Houston and Ware Road?
Our biggest challenge is the underground drainage in the area. It's fairly complicated. We have mapped that out. We have shown that to the engineers already. It's doable, but it is gonna be a challenge.
Does that outfall or that ditch go underground underneath all the hotel district and the convention center?
It goes at an angle and then goes down, it goes down Houston, part of it, and then the other part goes down Ware Road. Where we're bringing in, the alignment we're looking at would not interfere with the main box, but there are smaller drainage pipes that connect into it that we have to take into account crossing that tunnel.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
5A is consideration of a variance request to North Bicentennial right-of-way dedication at 8501 North Main Street.
Sir, Barton subdivision is a proposed 3-lot, single-family home development consisting of 12.79 acres. The property is located on the southeast corner of North Bicentennial and Northgate Lane, and it is surrounded by single-family homes and vacant land. Project engineers are requesting a variance to the right-of-way dedication requirements for Bicentennial Boulevard, which is a principal arterial that requires 75 feet of dedication from center line for a total of 150 feet of right-of-way. The engineer is proposing to dedicate enough for 50 feet from center line instead of the 75 required. The plat shows that existing right-of-way along this portion of Bicentennial varies from 34.5 to 60 feet. Development departments are recommending disapproval of the variance with a alternate recommendation of dedicating 60 feet at least from center line. The variance was presented at the May 21st Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, where after some discussion, P&Z recommended approval of the variance to dedicate 50 feet. There are 4 options before you. P&Z's recommendation is option 1, while staff's is option 2.
Questions?
Make a motion to approve option 2. Recommendation made by the planning department.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
There being a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Okay, that was 3-2, correct?
Pepe and I? Yeah.
Okay, motion carries.
Mayor, we'd like to pass on item 6A. We're going to change how we report this since there's been changes
Sure.
at the park, and we can go to 6B.
Okay, future agenda items.
Nothing.
Future agenda items, well, I think we had talked about the possibility of looking into the hotel motel tax, see what we can possibly do with using
Museum? Children's? Cool. Bye.
Okay, nothing else, we'll recess into executive session. And we're back from executive session. Counselor, what do we have?
Mayor, with respect to item 7A, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing the city manager and the city attorney to take those actions with respect to economic development contracts as described in executive session.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 6B.
Mayor, with respect to item 7B, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate sale of the real property on the terms described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item C.
Mayor, with respect to item 7C, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing the city manager and city attorney to take those actions described in executive session with respect to
So
municipal
moved.
employment contracts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. That's all we have.
Yes, Mayor.
There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.